power, desire, control. These words shaped Machiavelli's mind. He saw human nature not as gentle, but as hungry. He believed people are driven by fear, by hope, by attachment to what gives them strength. And when we look at women, when we look at their attachments, his insight cuts like a knife. What makes a woman hold on to a man? What makes her return, again and again, even when she says she is done? Machiavelli would say, it is not kindness, it is not promises, it is not love alone. No, it is something deeper, something far older. A set of triggers written inside her mind, triggers that tie her not by reason but by instinct. And here is the truth most men never hear. A woman does not attach to you because of what you give. She attaches because of what she feels when she is with you. Those feelings, when pressed in the right way, become chains stronger than iron. Chains she does not want to break, even when she tells herself she should. Machiavelli knew rulers held power not by pleasing the crowd, but by mastering their fears and hopes. In the same way, a man does not keep a woman through endless gifts or endless begging. He keeps her by sparking the very emotions that grip her nervous system, the emotions that whisper, do not let him go. The first of these triggers is tension. A woman who never feels tension with you grows bored. She feels safe. Yes, she feels calm. Yes, but she does not feel alive. Without tension, her mind drifts. Her body grows restless. And soon she looks elsewhere. Tension is not cruelty. It is not chaos. It is the edge of unpredictability. It is the moment she wonders, what will he do next? It is the spark of not knowing. Machiavelli would say, better to keep her slightly unsure than to let her think she controls the game. The second trigger is recognition. Every woman carries a hunger to be seen, not just for her beauty, not just for her charm, but for her depth, her secret world, her silent fears. When a man pierces through the mask and sees the truth of her being, she feels bound to him. This is not flattery. This is not empty praise. It is the rare moment she feels exposed, yet safe in that exposure. Once she feels that, leaving becomes almost impossible, because no other man seems to see her in the same way. The third trigger is desire wrapped in restraint. When you give too much too fast, her desire fades. But when you show interest wrapped in control, you pull her deeper. This balance between wanting and holding back creates a fire in her chest. She feels wanted, but she also feels she must earn it, and that effort makes her attachment grow. Machiavelli wrote that people value what they must struggle for. So it is with women. What is given freely loses weight. What requires effort gains power. The fourth trigger is fear of loss. Machiavelli built his vision of power on this law. People act more to avoid loss than to gain reward. Women are no different. When she feels the risk of losing you, her attachment grows. It is not punishment. It is not cruelty. It is the simple awareness that you are not permanent, that you will not always wait, that your presence is a privilege, not a right. The fear of loss makes her hold tighter, even as she tells herself she should not. The fifth trigger is emotional storms. Calm waters are sweet, but storms leave deeper marks. When she feels passion, conflict, reconciliation, her nervous system ties all these highs and lows to you. Many men avoid storms. They fear rocking the boat. But Machiavelli would say, storms make loyalty stronger. For after a storm, the calm feels richer. After a clash, the bond feels tighter. She stays because her body remembers the cycle of fire and peace. And finally, the sixth trigger is mystery. A woman attaches not to a man she fully knows, but to a man she is still learning. Mystery is oxygen to desire. The moment she feels she has read every page, she grows restless. Machiavelli warned rulers never to reveal their full hand. The same law rules attraction. Keep a part of yourself unseen, and she will always lean forward, always reach for more. These triggers are not theories, they are laws of the psyche. Each one, when awakened, pulls a woman closer, not through her reason, not through her plans, but through the oldest currents in her mind. Men who fail to understand them lose women again and again, blaming bad luck. Men who master them find that women linger, sometimes against their own will. So what does this mean for you? It means you must stop thinking of attachment as a gift you earn with effort alone. You must stop chasing with flowers, words, and endless giving. Attachment is not built that way. It is built by pressing the right buttons inside her, by shaping her experience in ways she cannot shake off. This is not manipulation, it is nature. This is not trickery, it is truth. And when Machiavelli looked at power, he saw this truth clearly. It is not enough to rule for a day. The true art is to rule hearts for years. And in the same way, it is not enough for a man to attract a woman once. The true art is to keep her attached, bound not by duty, but by desire. Bound not by promises, but by triggers deeper than words. These are the secrets we will unfold in this journey. Now that you have seen the first layer, the question is simple. Do you want to go deeper? Machiavelli taught that rulers who relied only on love would fall. Love, by itself, is fragile. It bends with moods, it fades with time. But fear, respect, and carefully managed desire lasts longer. And when you study women, you see the same truth. A woman does not stay attached to a man because of love alone. She stays because he stirs a storm inside her. He awakens feelings that she cannot ignore, feelings that tie her more tightly than words or promises ever could. Think of love as a flame. On its own, it burns bright for a while. But if you do not feed it with tension, mystery, and desire, it dies. Machiavelli knew people grow lazy when they feel too safe. A woman is no different. If she believes she owns you completely, her grip loosens. If she knows every corner of you, her curiosity fades. If she feels you will never walk away, her urgency weakens. This is why attachment depends on contrast. When she feels both safety and danger, her heart races. When she feels both warmth and challenge, her mind spins. When she feels both closeness and distance, she cannot let go. This push and pull makes her nervous system bind you into her memory. She begins to crave you, not because of gifts, but because of the emotions you awaken. Machiavelli would say, it is not cruelty, but strategy. The same way a ruler must sometimes give and sometimes hold back, a man must balance presence with absence. Too much presence, and he becomes dull. Too much absence, and she feels abandoned. But the right rhythm between the two makes her think of him day and night. Now, let's break down 3 deeper triggers Machiavelli would highlight. Trigger 1. The reward and the denial. A woman feels strongest attachment when she experiences reward followed by restraint. When you give her joy, affection, or intimacy, and then you pull back, her mind locks onto you. Why? Because her brain wants to chase what it tasted, but did not fully keep. Machiavelli knew scarcity creates value. A thing in constant supply loses meaning. A thing hard to grasp becomes priceless. This is not about games. This is about nature. A woman who receives everything at once grows tired. A woman who must earn your full self keeps running after it. Trigger 2. The mark of uniqueness. Every woman longs to feel she is not like the rest. When a man speaks or acts in a way that shows he sees her essence, her hidden corners, she feels chosen. Machiavelli understood that people serve rulers best when they believe the ruler sees them as special. The same law binds women. When she feels you see what others miss, she fears losing you, because no other man reflects her uniqueness back to her in the same way. Trigger 3. The echo of uncertainty. Certainty breeds comfort, but uncertainty breeds obsession. When a woman cannot fully predict your thoughts, your next move, or your true depth, she circles around you in her mind. Uncertainty keeps her imagination active, and the mind that imagines is the mind that bonds. Machiavelli taught rulers to hide their intentions, for the less the people knew, the more they watched. A man who carries the same air of mystery triggers that endless watch inside a woman's heart. These triggers may sound simple, but their effect is brutal. They bypass logic. They make women return to men who hurt them. They make women chase men who ignore them. They make women attach not to the man who gives the most, but to the man who strikes the deepest chords of tension, mystery, and desire. And here lies the bitter truth most men cannot swallow. Women do not attach to goodness alone. If goodness were enough, the kindest men would be kings, but look around. The men who keep women hooked are not always the most gentle, the most giving, or the most soft. They are the men who stir the storm. Machiavelli would smile at this, because it proves his point. Human nature is not ruled by reason but by power and passion. But let us make something clear. This is not a call to cruelty. This is not a call to heartless games. No, Machiavelli never worshipped evil. He worshipped realism. He told rulers, see people as they are, not as you wish they were. And in the same way, a man must see women as they are. He must understand the real triggers of attachment, not the fairy tales told in poems or films. If you want a woman to stay, do not only offer comfort, do not only offer safety. These things are good, but they are not enough. You must learn the rhythm of tension. You must learn the weight of restraint. You must learn the art of mystery. These are the tools Machiavelli would hand you if he stood beside you today. So remember this. Love begins the bond, but these triggers seal it. Without them, she may smile at you. She may speak kindly of you, but she will not feel that burning tie that makes her hold on, even when her mind tells her to walk away. With them, you become unforgettable. You become the man she cannot replace, even if she tries. And once you grasp this, you hold the keys to her attachment. Keys stronger than gifts, stronger than words, stronger than time itself. Machiavelli warned rulers. It is better to be feared than loved. If you cannot be both, in matters of power, love wavers. Fear holds steady. Now, translate this into the realm of desire, and you see something striking. A woman's attachment does not rest only on love. It rests on a current of respect tinged with the fear of loss. Without that, her bond weakens, no matter how much affection she once felt. This truth unsettles many men. They believe love should be enough. They believe loyalty should grow from kindness alone. But nature does not follow such rules. Machiavelli saw that people follow rulers because they feel both need and fear. In the same way, a woman stays because she feels both care and risk. When the risk disappears, so does urgency. The fear of loss is one of the most powerful triggers in the female mind. When she knows you have options, when she senses you will not wait forever, her grip tightens. If you are too available, she relaxes. If you are too certain, she drifts. But when she feels she could lose you, her attachment grows sharp. Her emotions lock you in place. She may even grow angry, even jealous. But beneath the storm is fear, the fear of your absence. And that fear, Machiavelli would say, is gold, because fear breeds action. Fear makes her show up, invest, fight, cling. Men who remove all risk, men who kneel and hand themselves over fully, often learn this the hard way. Their women slip through their fingers, not because they are cruel, but because they are too safe. Now think of another trigger, the emotional roller coaster. Machiavelli understood that rulers gained loyalty not only through fear, but through drama, grand shows, sudden decrees, public victories, and even controlled chaos. These burned themselves into the memory of the people. A ruler who gave only peace became forgettable, but a ruler who brought both highs and lows became unforgettable. A woman's heart follows the same law. If her days with you are calm but dull, she grows numb. If her days with you swing between passion and calm, between heat and cool, she remembers you forever. The contrast binds her. Her mind ties the high to the low, the storm to the peace. Together they form a cycle that keeps her invested. She attaches not because every day is easy, but because no day feels empty. This is why some women leave kind men for men who stir more chaos. They do not do it because they hate kindness. They do it because the chaotic man presses the storm button. He makes her feel alive. He awakens the parts of her nervous system that the calm man lets sleep. Machiavelli would say, the storm wins because memory favors intensity over comfort. But there is another trigger, quieter yet just as strong, the sense of mission. Machiavelli taught that rulers bound their people by giving them a cause. A nation united by mission stays loyal, even through hardship. Without a cause, loyalty fades. For women, the same principle applies. A woman who feels she has a role in your story, a place in your vision, will hold on tighter than a woman who does not. If she feels she builds something with you, her investment grows. If she feels her presence shapes your future, her attachment deepens. But if she feels useless, replaceable, or meaningless, her grip weakens. Machiavelli would say, a wise ruler always gives his people a stake in his kingdom. A wise man always gives his woman a stake in his journey. Now, combine these triggers, the fear of loss, the roller coaster of emotion, and the sense of mission. Together they create a force nearly unbreakable. A woman who fears losing you, who rides storms with you, and who feels she builds with you. Such a woman clings hard. Even when her mind screams to let go, her heart refuses. But men fail because they forget balance. Too much fear without love leads to collapse. Too much chaos without stability leads to ruin. Too much mission without recognition feels hollow. Machiavelli never preached extremes. He preached control. He believed the ruler who balances fear and love, chaos and order, wins loyalty that lasts. A man must do the same. Here is the harsh reality. If you give her only comfort, she will not stay. If you give her only storms, she will break. But if you give her both, in measure, you own her heart, and she may never understand why. She may speak of love, of fate, of chemistry, but beneath those words lies the truth. Her attachment is not random. It is engineered by triggers buried in her mind, the same triggers Machiavelli saw in the crowds of Florence. So let us pause. Ask yourself, do you give her fear of loss? Do you spark storms that bind? Do you share a mission she believes in? If not, her attachment is weak. If yes, her attachment is strong. Machiavelli would say, the man who learns these arts does not beg for loyalty. He commands it. And when a woman is tied to you through these forces, she does not simply choose you. She cannot help herself. Her very instincts, her very emotions, her very biology chain her to you. This is not manipulation. This is not cruelty. This is reality. The man who denies it suffers. The man who accepts it wins. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler's greatest mistake is to believe loyalty is permanent. Loyalty is never permanent. It is maintained. It is nurtured. It is commanded through action. And in the same way, a man's greatest mistake is to believe a woman's attachment will stay forever without fuel. If he stops pressing the triggers, if he grows lazy, her grip loosens. A woman's mind is not built for stillness. It is built for movement, emotion, and change. She is pulled by the tides of feeling, not the anchors of logic. Machiavelli knew that the people forget quickly. A ruler who rests on yesterday's glory loses today. The same law applies here. Yesterday's passion does not guarantee today's attachment. You must continue to spark the same forces that bound her in the first place. One of the strongest forces is admiration. Machiavelli saw that people admire strength, vision, and boldness. They follow the man who dares. A woman attaches in the same way. She needs to admire the man she stays with. Without admiration, love grows thin. Without admiration, even comfort feels heavy. If she admires you, she forgives more, clings more, believes more. If she loses admiration, every flaw grows large. Admiration is oxygen for attachment. So what builds admiration? Purpose, resolve, the ability to stand firm when others bend. Machiavelli taught rulers to never look weak. The moment weakness shows, vultures gather. A man must follow the same rule. Stand in strength, even when storms hit. Show resolve, even when doubt gnaws. A woman who sees that fire in you will attach beyond reason, because she does not just feel desire, she feels respect. Another force is contrast. Machiavelli advised rulers to surprise the people. Predictable rulers grew dull, forgettable. But rulers who shocked, who shifted, who unveiled new faces kept attention. A man must also carry contrast. If he is always one thing, she learns him fully, and boredom sets in. But if he shows new layers, if he reveals depth over time, she leans in closer. Contrast makes mystery endless. Mystery makes attachment unshakable. Now we arrive at the final force. Power of absence. Machiavelli said a ruler grows more respected when his presence feels rare. Constant presence breeds contempt. Distance breeds value. A woman who never feels your absence takes you for granted. A woman who sometimes feels your absence treasures your return. Too much absence kills love. Too much presence kills desire. But the right absence keeps her longing. Her imagination fills the gap, and the mind that imagines bonds harder. When you combine admiration, contrast, and absence with the earlier trigosphere of loss, storms of emotion, sense of mission, you create an architecture of attachment, not fragile, not fleeting, but solid. She may argue with you, she may resist you, but deep down, she stays, because her emotions betray her logic. Machiavelli would say, the ruler who understands the people's hearts never fears betrayal. The man who understands a woman's triggers never fears abandonment. This is where most men fail. They think words are enough. They think gifts are enough. They think love itself is enough. But Machiavelli shows us the hidden law. People are not held by reason but by forces beneath reason. Women are not attached by choice alone but by triggers older than choice itself. So hear this warning. If you do not spark these forces, another man will. If you do not awaken her admiration, her fear of loss, her sense of mission, her desire for mystery, someone else will. Nature leaves no vacuum. If you do not claim the seat in her heart, she will give it to another, and when she does, you will wonder why your love was not enough. But now you know the truth. Love is not the glue. Triggers are. Machiavelli's lessons are sharp, cold, but true. He did not paint the world as we wish it to be. He painted it as it is. And if you carry his insight into the realm of women, you gain an advantage most men will never have. You no longer chase blindly. You no longer beg. You no longer believe fairy tales about attachment. You see the levers. You see the buttons. You see the truth. And the truth is this: a woman stays attached when she feels tension, recognition, restraint, fear of loss, storms of emotion, a sense of mission, admiration, contrast, and mystery. These forces bypass reason. They chain her willingly to the man who awakens them. If you become that man, she will not want to let go, even if she tells herself she should. So, do not waste time asking what women say they want. Do not waste time giving all and receiving little. Instead, study the triggers. Master the art. Live with strength, vision, and control. And then watch as women attach, not because you beg, not because you bribe, but because their very nature demands it. That is the Machiavellian truth. That is the hidden map of the female heart. And now, the question is no longer, will she stay? The question is, will you master the forces that make her stay? Now hit the like and subscribe button if you loved this video. Thank you for watching.